Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Damn, I'm tired as hell. Ain't gonna lie. How does it look? It look good? The lighting's fine. Get this over here though. Yeah. Change these colors. What colors did I have it? Let's see. What colors do we have this? We have blue and red right now, but we should do like green maybe. Green and orange. That look-y look weird, ain't gonna lie. It's like an orange. About to get started in a minute. Let's just do red. Great job on yesterday's video. I appreciate that. What did I do in yesterday's video? Talking about a thumbnail or the actual video? How y'all like that thumbnail yesterday? It took me a little bit. I've been trying to make them better. No one be clicking on those though. They like the cartoon. For some reason. People be liking the cartoon me. So. We had the chalkboard in the back. The chalkboard. Pretty dope. Yesterday was nice. Yesterday was great. Yes, like the trade that we took yesterday was amazing. All right, in our zone. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but yesterday it just kept running. We literally had like a perfect entry on this too. We got in right here. Right here. And then I sold it when it came out of our zone. Look at that. It just kept running yesterday. It was insane. Wow. I thought I sold it like the best time ever. I was like, yo, we got the top right there. It started coming down. Next thing you know, this thing's absolutely rallying. It doesn't even look like that big of a move. But this was like, that was a 10-minute. We were just waiting for that. It was pretty nuts. Well, let's go right into the earnings this week. So, again, there's really nothing today. It's a Friday. Yesterday, FedEx announced earnings, so we can take a look at that. That's about it. Now, economic calendar, we have something at 9:15 today and something at 10. So, consumer sentiment at 10. Industrial production at 9:15. And then, what are we looking for today? First Republic Bank shares fell 3.4%. It keeps going back and forth. Swiss Lender fell 4%. Shares rose 11% after hours on FedEx, which is great. Everything else, I don't care. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. And let's go to this thing. 9:15 industrial production. 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. 10 o'clock something else, and then 1 o'clock. So it's literally 10 and 9:15 that we got to worry about. And we don't really have to worry about 9:15 since the market's not going to be open. It's just going to be pre-market. So we really don't care about that. And everything else is pretty much it. Americans can feel confident with their pub when they need them. I mean, what else is she going to say? Alright, that's basically it. Alright, let's go right into everything that I'm watching for today. Dude, this thing has not stopped running. This thing is at what? 360 right now? 361? That is insane. We do not stop running. That 245 level hit yesterday. It was amazing. You guys take that it was 245 to the upside. You guys take that? Look at it, just absolutely rallied. So nice. 245. I was in SPY calls at the time, so I wasn't able to take it. But 245 looked like a banger yesterday on the video, and then I had 258 for today, and then that broke. Now we're at 261, but we bounced off it like perfectly. Look at that, 258, which makes me kind of want to keep it for like a downside move under that 258 on the video, because I have 250, but we are pretty far away from that. We're like $9 away, and that's from here to here almost. So it's like we have 239, 250. I might actually keep 258 because of this. Like, it reacted there perfectly. Literally the low of that is 258. But I want to see for upside, because obviously we can't play 258 to the upside. Let's see how far back we have to go for this. Oh my goodness. That's the hard part about this, is we haven't been in this area in so long. Has it been a year? Remember, this was before the split. They split what, 2 years ago? Yeah, something like that. Let me see. 261 after hours. So pre-market high is what? 261 high right there. Yeah, 261.4. So anything above there. This is gonna be the tricky part. Like, what is this? This is all disgusting, right? This back and forth. Like, there's really, like, that just doesn't really look that good. I mean, 266, that looks decent, but it's not like the best. Like, you guys can see 266, it had a reaction there, had a reaction here, it, like, kind of had a reaction there, and it started holding. When it broke under, it kept going. But I want to find something closer though, like 262 maybe. Close of this is 262, open of this is 262. I want to see if we just literally get a continuation, because 262 is right there. Like, it looks good on the chart, but it's also just a continuation of upside out of that pre-market high area. So I want to try and see how big the wall is at 262. And that would be a nice continuation of upside. After you break out of that pre-market high, then we get into that 262. I think that would be perfect for the video, honestly. Yeah. I mean, this thing has been running, so we'll see. 258, 262, 250. Like, I would be surprised if we keep going up. Like, I feel like we need a pullback first and we'll be able to take puts off of that. But again, NVIDIA, those are the levels that I'm looking at on the video right now. So Tesla, I'm doing Tesla. Alright, let's do this. Tesla, as you guys can see, 186. Oh, thank goodness it did not break. 186 almost perfectly reacted there. So that 186, 187 to the upside, but now we're pretty far away from that. We're like $3 away. So I want to see what we can do for this downside. Right now, 183 doesn't look bad. I want to see what it looks like on the 1 hour. I'm just going to mark these levels so we have them. I just want to see 183, and then, oh, that's like right above it. Yeah, it's honestly, it has to be that 183. And then downside is pretty far away. Let me see the 1 hour at 183. That looks good. That doesn't really make it look good. It started rejecting there. Came up. I want to see 183 to the downside if it doesn't break. But 183, 186, 187. 179 kind of broke already. 176 is what I have. So downside's pretty far away if we break 183. I don't really have another downside level. Yeah. I don't really have a downside level until 176, so it's that 183, and if it breaks now, then there goes that downside level on Tesla. But I have that 186, 187 on Tesla to the upside. So far, so good. I mean, everything literally rallied yesterday. This thing started rallying as well, so we'll see what today brings us. NQ, again, literally the same levels. I have not like made these levels different or anything like that. And as you guys saw yesterday, this was a perfect bounce off of that important key level, like literally perfect. And then we start running. Look at the reaction level. And then when we held that, look at us. We just kept running. So these levels have just been so solid and so reactive. Still, I don't know how. These things have just been reactive. Then we go into ES. Go to our zones. As you guys can see, we're bouncing near that bottom. We start going up again, came right back down. But my important key levels, do that. Our important key levels that, you know, previous high day was around that 4,000 area. Literally the high of that was 4,000, which was nice. The low is 38.95, so it's a pretty far range, honestly. Like we have all the way to the downside right here, all the way to the upside. So it's just these zones. If we could retest the zone, we'll see what we can do there. But, I mean, if this thing wants to come right back down, I wouldn't be surprised if it does that. Just because that's just what it does. It just does what it does. It will come up crazy, 2%, come right back down. I just wouldn't be surprised at that. But, again, ES, it looks like, you know, people are just taking profits right now, and we're back in the zone. Literally just a break out of this area and just retest this area. I want to see if we can play calls off of here. If not, and if it comes under there, then right here is where I'm trying to target for calls. Because it looks like we broke it, and now it's trying to retest it. I want to see if we can get some calls off of here. And right now, it's already trying to. Like, that 1-2 right there would have been perfect. So I want to see what we do in this area. But this zone is where I'm trying to get into calls. And if it breaks under there, then right here. Because either way, it just looks like on the 1 hour, if buyers are really holding up on bookmap and stuff like that, it wants to just bounce off of this area and then go higher. It looks like it just broke out and trying to retest. So it needs to be supported by buyers, of course, but I really want to see an upside move here on ES. Downside, not really looking at anything for like the downside, like for puts, unless we're able to break out of the zone or break out of that zone. But I want to see if we can come back up and retest that previous high a day. Like if we're in calls or something, I want to at least have like some runners just so that this previous high day. I feel like we really can just come and retest that, and then we'll be able to just play the reverse right there if sellers are actually getting strong right in that area. But we definitely, this is looking like people are taking profits. And then we try a bounce here. Bookmap shows a lot of buyers there, and then we could bounce up to that previous high day area and then just reverse the position right there. That'd be nice. And then we have that Tesla and Nvidia, of course. Nvidia is still bouncing, and then Tesla is probably still holding up. Yeah, Tesla's also holding up as well. I have Meta. I was looking at Meta as well. Actually, was I looking at Meta? No, definitely not on that. Maybe I wasn't. Actually, yeah, I don't think I had a level for Meta. I didn't think I liked it for today. Like, it doesn't really look that good. So I think I kind of skipped Meta for today. I might have had 196 just because it reacted today or yesterday and the day before. Let me see though. No, actually I don't. Yeah, I don't really like anything on Meta, to be honest. So I'm not really looking at Meta today. Amazon, the 101 level, that's like a perfect reaction right there. So I'm going to see if we can take it out of that 101 area on Amazon. It's looking good. AMD, I don't really have anything for AMD either. Not really looking at AMD. This thing has just been running up. I mean, if it wants to come back down and just come in this area again, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, this area right here. We go low key, get a bounce off of there, but if AMD comes down though, I'd rather just take ES is probably going to be coming down as well, and I'd rather take a bounce off of ES than a bounce off of AMD. But if ES isn't setting up or doing anything, then this bounce area right here on AMD is looking good. We haven't been in this area in a while. Let me see. Yeah, we haven't been in this area in a while, so it's kind of hard to see, but that area, I want to see if we can bounce off of there. You guys saw we have a nice reaction in that area yesterday. It looks good. We started bouncing that area as well. So if we come back down and retest that area, that's what I'm looking at for calls. But if AMD comes down, it's probably ES is coming down and NQ is coming down, and we'll be able to play a bounce off of ES anyway. So we'll be fine with that on there. AMD, Amazon, Meta, Netflix. I don't know if I had anything for Netflix. Yeah, Netflix has been doing this thing, honestly. Like now we're just back in like this range again. I just don't like that price action from beforehand. And now we're trying to come right back down again. How's that 308 looking? Yeah, I don't really want to look at anything on Netflix either. Like right now my main watch is Amazon 101, Nvidia, these three levels right there, 262, 258, 250. Tesla 183, 186, 187. That's pretty much it on Tesla. Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, AMD bounce, and then ES of course right into this zone. So I really want to see what we do here. I want to see if buyers are able to support it above there. Right now this thing is looking pretty weak so far, so I want to give it some time to kind of just hold up like this. I want to see if it could hold up on that 1 hour. So it might actually take a little bit before we get in a trade on ES, but that's why we're looking at other stuff as well, like AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, so, and Amazon. So this thing could just take its time. I'm not really in a rush to take a trade because it's also 0 DT for every other stock out there as well that we're trading. So either way, they're all going to move. So it really doesn't matter what we trade today. If it's AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon. But this is looking good so far. 1 hour is just way too weak for me to take it. Like, look at that. It's just way too weak on the 5 minute. Like, everything is just so weak so far. You're literally going against that. So I want to see this start to bounce here, start to gain some sort of buyers, show buyers here, come back up right to there, and then retest this again. And then that's when we can see that buyers are actually here. But if this thing just flushes under this zone, then I'm going to have to wait for that zone right there. And the same thing that I just said on that zone, I'm going to have to see on this zone. Right, I'm going to have to see it come down, test it, come up, maybe test it right here, come back down. And if I see buyers in that area and it's actually holding up, we're good to go. But right now, you're going against all of this selling pressure. Like, it's not stopping. So we literally have to wait. Again, we've been coming down. It's just not stopping. It'd be stupid to get into calls without a proper setup. Like, it's just gambling. Like, starter position or this and that. It's like I don't really mess with all that stuff. It's like if you can't if you're not really confident in the move and you're just off about your timing, then you're just doing something wrong. Like you're trying to get in before it's telling you to get in. That's why I don't really be messing with starter positions. I don't really be doing that. So like when I get in, I'm getting in full size when I'm getting in, because you have to just be confident and actually like know when to get in. If you're trying to like, oh, I'm gonna get starter calls right here, it's like, yeah, you know, it could definitely bounce, but it's like, you're not doing it right, though. It's not high probability if you have to do that, because this thing is just continue to keep going down. Like, everything's telling you this thing is weak. Why go against it? And look at that. It's still going. A lot of people, they'll try and fight all of this selling pressure, not waiting for it to properly set up for you to get calls. Like, a lot of people don't know how to play the reverse of this or anything like that. They want to get in calls after this huge 1 hour candle. Yeah, this thing could have bounced, but there's such a small chance that that's happening just yet, and you can't get in at the right time. Like, you're gonna have to just, like, look at this, and then you would have got stopped down and be like, oh, the market's rigged. Like, no, just wait for the proper setup. Wait for it to actually set up. There's no point in timing it. Oh, I'm going to get calls right here, and if it starts going, or, I'm going to get calls here, and if it keeps going down, then I'm going to get 50% more right here, and if it goes down more, then I'm going to get 50% more right here, and then I'm going to be full size right around here. Or you could just wait for the proper setup, wait for it to show you that buyers are holding it instead of just gambling on your entry, hoping to be right, and then you're good to go. Like, this thing could definitely keep going down. This thing could definitely keep going up. I'm not gambling, right? I'm waiting for it to, let's say it just wants to bounce right here. Then it comes up right here, comes back over here. And I see a lot of buyers holding this up on the book map. And I'm seeing aggressive buyers holding this up. That's where I'm going to get my entry, right? This is where I'm going to get my entry. I'm not going to, 25% of my position is going to be in right here. 50% more right here. Another 25% right here. And then we're going to be full size right here. No, I don't be messing with that. If that's part of your strategy, then you're definitely not able to time this thing right. And it's not about time. It's just like reacting to what you see. I wouldn't even say it's a lack of timing. I would say it's just like a lack of entry. Like, you just don't know where you're entering at. Like, you know that this thing's trying to bounce, right? Like, we know on this 1 hour, right? It broke above it, and it could definitely bounce in this area that it previously was rejecting, just a break and retest. But a lot of people don't know how to enter, like where to enter. So they'll start 25% here, your position, then 50% more, and then 25%. So it's like, you have to be able to actually know when to enter and not just enter and just hope for the best. And then you see it working, you're like, oh, see, look, I'm just going to keep doing this. Because then you're going to keep averaging down. And soon enough, you're averaging down your whole entire portfolio. And then that's how you blow your account. So don't say I didn't warn you. Or they'll just FOMO. They'll see that it's actually bouncing. They're going to get in calls real quick. And they're like, if it goes in their favor, they're going to keep doing it again. And if it doesn't, they're like, I'm never doing this again. And then they'll do it again tomorrow. Like, this is why. Like, you have to be disciplined. And you just got to think about this stuff. Like, wait for the proper setup. This thing could literally bounce on the same exact 1 hour candle. This thing could turn red to green. And if I miss it, I miss it. Like, the market moved without me. I'm not going to take a trade unless it sets up to my plan. This thing could literally just rally, right? But if it's not setting up to my plan for my entry, then I'm not going to be able to get in. Like, no FOMO, nothing. You just got to wait for your proper setup. Because I know what happens when you don't, right? I definitely know what happens when you don't wait for your proper setup. I wouldn't be here if I didn't wait for my proper setups. But it's all about waiting. So we got the 1. It's coming up here. Let's see what it wants to do right here. Right, that's like the proper setups that I really want to see. I want to see it come back down, try and hold, reverse this just trend right here. Right, because this thing has just been coming down like crazy. But we had a nice aggressive move yesterday. We know people are going to be taking profits, right? But it's not about, trying to time this thing. We just wait for the proper setup. This thing's trying to rally, right? Who cares? We just wait for our setup. If it tries to hold our zone, let's see what happens at our zone. But there's no point in just chasing it and stuff like that. Firewatch, appreciate it. Are you worried about quad witching? I'm not worried about anything, bro. Like, I don't know why people are so worried about stuff. Like, it's just extra noise. I don't care. Like, I'm going to react to what I react to. I'm going to stick to my plan. I guess a lot of people don't have a strict plan, a strict strategy out there. Like, everyone's so worried about the banks, and they're like, oh, it's going to mess with trading. Like, no. Nothing's going to mess up your trading. It's how you react, right? It's not going to mess up your trading. It might mess up the stock's movement, but just don't react, right? Sometimes it's better not to react to stuff. If it's not setting up the way you want it to set up, then don't react to it. Why do you think you have to react to it? Like, you can't make an excuse saying the banks did this and the banks did that, and it just messed up SPY, price action. So, don't react to it then. Like, it's not that hard. A lot of people don't know how to not react to stuff. It's going up. Oh, I have to react. And they get mad that it doesn't go in the direction. They get stopped out, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Like, it keeps faking me out. Then don't react. If you know it's going to keep faking you out, wait for the proper setup. Wait for it to set up. Wait for your, 100% confidence setup is there, your A plus setup. Wait for your best entry, right? Don't just get in just to get in, especially if you know price action isn't the best. Why are you treating it like, oh, this thing, I'm just gonna get in right here? It don't make sense. You just have to just be able to get your A plus setups and just move on. I don't care if this thing was super volatile today, a ton of fake outs, for people and stuff like that. It wouldn't matter, because what matters is if I stick to my plan and I stick to my risk management, because it won't blow your account, right? You can't make an excuse saying this did this, this did that. It's only you. You could have just not reacted, and then you just wouldn't have blown your account. But instead, you chose to react because you can't handle your emotions, and you're too emotional with the position size they're using, or you're not confident enough. That's on you. That's literally like the whole reason why a lot of people aren't profitable. It's so easy, right, to come, the levels here, this and that and this, but it's really not about these levels as much as you think. The levels are about 20% of the trading. It's all about how you execute at these levels, right? It's all about how you execute at these levels. It's not about, 258 to the downside, 262 to the upside. Yeah. How do you execute it though, right? I could have those levels there. You could have those levels there. You could take a loss. I could take a win at the same exact level. Isn't that crazy? And it's just, you have to learn how to execute. You have to learn how to manage it. You have to be very good at managing stuff. And that's the whole point of trading. It's just all about managing it well. It's not about these stupid levels, 258, 262. Like, it's stupid. Like, that's not going to make you money in trading, right? Like, you have the plan. It's up to you to stick to it, though. We have the blueprint right in front of us. Why are people not profitable, right? It's because they don't know how to follow it. You can't give a blueprint to a 5-year-old and expect them to build a house. It ain't going to happen. They're not going to be able to build a house. They're not even going to be able to build it out of Legos, right? So why do you expect yourself, you have these levels here, you're going to be instantly profitable? Like, no. You have to be able to execute. You have to know when to execute, where to execute, and how to actually alleviate your emotions and actually think logically. And if you can't, just sit back. Oh my gosh, I almost died, bro. You have to sit back and just breathe. That's what I used to do when I was first starting. Just breathe. I said it, I think last week. I was in live call or something. I was like, listen, just breathe. What was it, a month ago? I was just breathe or something. And you guys don't realize that I'm just saying just breathe. You're like, oh, that's what is this? A doctor's office or something? Why is he asking me to breathe in? But it's just it just alleviates some sort of, how would I say, emotions. It's just if you breathe and you take a second because your heart's always racing, you're I gotta get in, I gotta get out and stuff like that. If you just take a second and breathe and just think about it, it would help you so much more. And it's just a lot of people, their hearts are racing, it's going crazy. And bro, when I first started, if I made $100 on a day, bro, I was that's crazy. That was the best feeling ever. I didn't want to give back that. I just after the first trade, I was done, if I made money. And then my biggest problem was risk management, but it was also just revenge trading. I used to, if anyone was revenge trading more, it was me. I used to, when I took a loss, I would literally, if I took a loss, then I'm okay, well, if I play calls and I take a loss, then I'm it got to go down now since I got stopped out. I would get puts, and then my puts got stopped out, and then I'll be down $300 or something like that versus just making $100, $50, $80. So it's dude, I have been through more stuff than most people out there. I probably made more mistakes than half y'all combined right now. And people want to give up, or people think it's not for them, and it might not be. Trading's not for everybody. But it's just, if you think that, you have to learn from your mistakes. If you think that a lot of people were just born with this, I probably was the person that was least gifted with trading. I actually thought that I was just not meant for trading when I first started, because I used to just do it for fun. I couldn't really do it for money because I wasn't making any money doing this, but I used to do it for fun. And then now I was able just to think back, and it's it's just being a great manager. Like when I trade, I think of myself like not a hedge fund, but you have to feel very professional in a way, like confident in a way to where it's like you're able to manage it well, and you have not just your money on the line, but you just have to think about it like, oh, you have your money on the line, but this is also your future money on the line. Like I think about it, it's bigger than me, right? Because if it's just with you, you're not going to be as like focused, right? Because you're going to be revenge trading. You're just going to keep hitting, your stop loss hits, and then you just revenge trade that, or you just can't stick to your plan and stuff like that. And it's like, you have to think about it without thinking about you. You have to think about like your future. You have to think about maybe your wife or your future wife, or if you're a girl, your husband or something. Like just think about the future, right? When I trade, I think about the future, because if I think about me right now, it's like I could just hit this stop, move on, hit another stop. Like I feel like I just wouldn't care as much, but you really have to care about it. Even though, I'll take a 2% loss, man, I don't care about like $1,000, $2,000, do this shit. Like I'll do it again, and then I'll do it again. And then once it starts adding up, you'll start to care. But a lot of people are trading like they don't care. They're trading, oh, I only have $500 in an account. I don't care. I'm just going to hit the stop loss and move on. But you have to think about your future, so you stop getting out of that mindset. Because when I first started, I didn't care. I was like, I took a $100 loss. It's fine. Another $100 loss. It's fine. It's not fine when your account's drained and you look back and like, oh, shoot, I got to reload this thing. So it's like, I remember those days. I remember when I took a $50 loss or $100 loss, and I was like, I don't really care. I'll hit my stop loss. Like, that's cool. But then I was shaking when I was making $50 on a day. I was like, yo, I'm up $50 on a day. Like, look at this. I made like $5-10 an hour sitting in my room or something. Like, I remember that. And then you just didn't care about your losses. You're like, that's whatever. It took $200 loss. That's whatever. $300 loss. That's whatever. Like, you have to actually care about it. And it's hard if you're trading with less size, depending on like what your relationship is with money, but you just have to think about your future instead of thinking about right now with that money. So, I remember. Like, I remember that, John. Like, a lot of people, I don't know. When I be talking, like, this is why I don't really mess with a lot of traders like that. Or freighters, for that note. Because, like, bro, when I talk to them, they be acting like they were born with this stuff. And I'm like, it's either they capping or they apparently were born with this stuff. Because I feel like I had so many problems that, like, a lot of people don't have when I first got started. And then I hear some people's problems. Like, I'll be in a lesson. I'm like, yeah. What do you guys struggle with? And then they're telling me all of this. And then they're like, oh, well, I only made like $200 on a day. And like, I'm profitable, but I'm not profitable enough. And, I've only been trading for like 6 months. I'm like, bro, you only been trading for 6 months and you're making $200 a day and you're profitable on average? Like, bro, what do you mean? You're chilling right now. Literally just start to slowly size up. You're comfortable with it, and then just you're good. Like, what are you asking me? Like, you're good. A lot of people they have like this false expectations that they're gonna make like millions of dollars a day trading and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, do you know how long I've been doing this thing for? And I'm finally able to be where I'm at right now. Like, 6 months into my trading, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, it was not great at all. I was just doing whatever, honestly. I felt like I was gambling. Like, when I look back, it was gambling. But it's like, bro, if you're profitable within 6 months of you first starting, like, why are you complaining about that? That is insane. So it's like, you gotta just have the proper expectations, and you just gotta be confident. You just gotta be confident, because once you start to, here's the other problem about sizing up, and like, I don't know if y'all know like Matt Diamond and stuff like that. Like, when people be telling that man to size up and stuff, it's like, bro, you can't tell someone else to size up, because it's all about how they can handle it. if he can't, for example, like if he can't size up, it's probably because he's not comfortable with trading that amount of money, which will hinder the actual trading itself. A lot of people are like, oh, you have the strategy down. Why don't you trade with millions and millions and millions of dollars? I'm like, bro, first of all, liquidity is just out the window. You're not getting filled for anything. Number two, bro, you don't realize that we're not robots, right? A lot of people are like, trade like robots, trade like robots. It's just a false sense of reality because you're not a robot. We're literally humans, right? So if we're trying to trade like robots, there's a good principle behind it, but we're not going to be able to trade like robots, right? We have emotions. All of us have emotions. How do we handle it? Your size, right? If I'm trading with $100, I'm going to be super confident, right? I'm going to feel like Superman when I'm trading because I just don't care, right? But as you start to progress and as you start to size up, it gets harder and harder and harder to be able to manage that. You have $1,000 portfolio. Of course you could take 15 trades on a day. Of course you could take this. Of course you could be a little bit more riskier because you don't care about that. But once you start to size up, you're going to start caring about that. If I size up, let's say I size up about another $5,000, right? So I increase my size by $5,000. I promise you, I'm not going to be able to optimize the way that I've been to where it just wouldn't even make sense for me to add size right now until I'm able to optimize very, very well. Because even if I add just a little bit of size, it might actually start to hinder my trading. And I literally done that before. I sized up. Literally 2 days later, I had to size right back down. Why? I wasn't able to sell the way that I wanted to. I sold it all in the push, or I was just low-key a little bit more emotional, or I wasn't able to handle it the way that I wanted to handle the trade. Now, I'm very comfortable about my size, and I could start to slowly size up, but the way that the market's been, it's just not ideal for me to size up any more than I am right now until I really get the rhythm of the market right now. Like, it's good. I'm profitable, but it's like the market's been on, it's just not been 100%, right? It's been a little rough. So if I need to have a clear mind, there ain't no way I'm starting to size up more than I am now, right? So that's the same thing with like Matt, or the same thing with you. If you're trying to size up, but you don't have the fundamentals down, it's like putting a roof on a house that has no foundation. Like, you can't put a roof on a house with no foundation. It just makes no sense, right? You just got a roof. And that's just not, you're not going to have a roof no more, right? It's just going to blow away. So that's the same thing with your account, right? Your account size will literally go away if you don't have that proper foundation. So it's just size up when you're comfortable. And even if you are comfortable, you have to make sure that your actual trading is good. You have to make sure that you have the strategy down, you have the fundamentals down, you have, optimizing this 100%, I'm able to stop out. Because as soon as you start seeing your P&L go backwards and you start to see that, oh, wow, I'm actually down a little bit more than I usually am because I just position size higher, oh, shoot, I'm not getting stopped out. I'm going to wait, or I'm going to average down. Next thing you know, you blow your account after being profitable for months because you started to add size and you were getting greedy. You have to think about why you're adding size. Are you adding size because you're 100% confident and you have the strategy down, the position sizing down, you have the optimization down, or is it because you just want to make more money? And if the answer is B, you're going to blow your account. And if the answer is A, then you could slowly start to add up. But it's all about just what you can handle. How did you stop revenge trading? The turning point? Honestly, I feel like for me, when I'm trying to think. So I know for risk management, I just started clicking the button. Like, I got rid of my P&L. I wasn't looking at my P&L. And all I did was, as soon as this went against me, it doesn't matter what percentage or what, as soon as it went against me, I just exited it. And I just slowly, so I sized down. So it's like you have to, it's like a weird way of saying it, but you have to think of yourself like a dog. Like, how do you train a dog? Giving it treats every time it does something good. So it's like, I had it sized down, right? So this is like for risk management. It's kind of the same thing for like revenge trading too. It's like I sized down, and then when my stop loss was supposed to hit, I hit it because like I was only trading with like one contract or something like that. So I just sized down and I was way more comfortable with it. So I was able to click and take the loss. I was like, oh, it's a $10 loss. I don't care. $20 loss. I don't care. And then as I started to discipline myself and as I started to, give myself treats, I was able to reward myself for actually doing what I was supposed to do and actually taking the loss. Because a lot of people, when y'all be taking losses, y'all be like, oh, this sucks. I hate taking losses. Do you think you're going to want to take a loss next time if you say that to yourself every single time? If you take a loss and then you reward yourself by saying that, oh, this sucks. I don't want to take a loss. I don't want to take a loss, even though it's literally part of trading. Your brain is not going to be able to handle yourself taking a loss. So you have to reward yourself if you stick to your plan and take the loss on your plan. Or else your brain subconsciously is not going to want to take that loss. So that's literally what I had to do. And it sounds like you're trading a dog, and it is, right? You have to think of yourself like this because when you take the loss, I started, one contract. When I took the loss, I rewarded myself for taking the loss when I was supposed to take a loss. And I did not reward myself when I turned the red trade that was supposed to stop out. When it went up to break even or green, I was not getting excited that I was down 400 and now I'm back up to $50, right? You can't reward yourself for that. You didn't even stick to your plan. A lot of people do that, but you just think about it like you're a dog. And it sounds weird, but that's what I had to do. And that was for stop losses. Same thing with revenge trading though. Like the same philosophy with stop losses, it's the same thing with just revenge trading. If you're revenge trading, you have to not reward yourself if you revenge trade and it went in your direction and you made money. No, because the reason why you keep revenge trading is probably because it's been working out. Or sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And you reward yourself every time it works out. So obviously, you're going to want to keep doing it if you saw that it worked previously. You have to cut that out, right? And you don't want to learn that lesson on a $5,000 account if you could do the same thing on a $500 account, which is why I tell people I have $100,000 to trade with. No, you don't. You're not coming over here with $100,000 and expecting me to tell you anything. You better size down because this is your first time trading, or even if it's not your first time trading, you just haven't been profitable. I'm telling you to size down $1,000 account and just learn the fundamentals. There's no point of taking $100,000 when you could literally blow that thing. I've seen it happen. Versus you with $1,000, you're gonna be, this is only $1,000. Like, who cares, bro? I'm telling you, you don't come to me in 3 months after you blew your account saying you should have listened to me, because it ain't gonna matter no more when you lose the $100,000. You're gonna learn the same lesson on a $100,000 account versus a $1,000 account. Which one makes more sense? Losing $1,000 or losing $100,000? $1,000, right? And you're not gonna blow your account some people do, some people don't. It's just the fact that you have $100,000 in your account is subconsciously you can keep average down for days, right? So, especially if you're only using one contract, it just does not build healthy habits. It's all about building the healthy habits, honestly. Let's see. New website looking good. Appreciate that. Do you have a max loss for today? Usually it's around 2%. I don't have a max loss because my max loss would never hit, because after 2 losses, I'm done. That's my rule. Because usually a loss in a day is rare, right? But then if I have 2 losses in a day, then it's okay, well, something's up. I'm not trading. So after 2 losses, it won't be anywhere near a max loss. Your max loss should be 2% of your entire account. Ain't gonna be anywhere near that. But my rule is just after 2 losses, I'm done. Have you noticed it? First 30 minutes? Have you noticed at the option contracts, SPX, do you not hardly move with the direction? The first... No, my contracts, if you guys see my videos, you guys know my contracts, as soon as I get in, they just start going. If it's in my direction and we start to go up and I'm in calls, they start to go instantly. I don't have to wait 30. I'm not even in a trade for 30 minutes. I would love to be in a trade for 30 seconds. We get a 20% pop, but that happened, Monday or something? Well, I'm signing up for premium today. This is exactly me. Yeah, also, we're raising the rates for the premium server April 15th. So don't say I didn't warn you. But we are raising the prices for that. You remember the sad days of bad trading days? Of course. that makes me not want to trade the way that I used to. Like, that's the thing. That's why, like, I can give great, not advice, like, opinions. I can give great opinions because, like, I literally went through the same thing as most of you guys been through. Some people just have no clue what I'm talking about because y'all never been through it. But for the people that, like, been through it, it's just, like, that's how I'm able to give you exactly what helped me and, like, my opinion about it. Not advice. How many consistent months before you size up? It's on you, honestly. Some people can size up in a month. Some people can size up, takes them a year, right, with their position size. So it just matters about you. You ever sweat doing a trade, your size is too large? Bro, I know people. I'm people. When I first started, bro. Honestly, it wasn't even like when I first started. It was like a couple months in or something. I used to shake. Like, it sounds bad, but I used to shake when I was trading. Like, I'd be like, you know, trembling or something. Like, it's not like that crazy, but it was just like, I used to shake. I was like, and my heart was going crazy, bro. It's actually insane how far, like, if you really think about it, how far you just come as a person. Sharing your challenges and motivates me to push on. I'll go 2 weeks with good risk management position, and then one day I'll just have a huge drawdown and not stop out on time. Dash Trader, I mean, I wish I was affiliated with it, but they're just being stubborn about it. If I had Dash Trader when I first got started, it has a feature that would automatically stop you out without you having to cancel it. Like a regular stop loss, you have to cancel the stop loss before you exit. It's like a barrier without you even knowing, and you literally put your max stop loss for the day or your max P&L loss for the day or your percentage on the actual trade, right? And it would automatically stop you out without you having to cancel anything. And I think that's literally like the best feature. If you were new, like, that is one of the best features ever. It would automatically stop you out at 10% loss on your position size, or, you know, it would stop you out when you hit your max P&L in the day. It won't let you trade anymore. It's like, dude, that is amazing. I wish I had that when I first started, bro. But Dash definitely is, like, on top of their game with their risk control, though. Bottom line, join premium if you haven't already. Hello, bro. Same. I like how you have the time of sales on level 2 on the right side of the screen. Entry lines on the chart while you're trading the video. Yeah, sometimes I put my stop loss on, like, the chart itself. It's also because I'm screen sharing. So, like, when I'm live trading in the mornings, I'm screen sharing. So, like, that's also why I have the, I put the stop loss line on there. It kind of helps with me, I guess. Like, I just mentally know where I'm about to stop out. But, you know, when people are, like, when they're watching my screen, I'm also saying it, but it's also good visually so they know exactly why I'm putting it there and where I'm putting it. But it does help. What platform is that? Dash Trader Pro. Dash Trader Pro. This one right here is Thinkorswim. It's the only two platforms I've used. I used to use Interactive Brokers back in the day for level 2. Now I use Bookmap. Bookmap is goated, so I just be using that. Leonard, sharing your trading journey with so many people is so helpful. You're young but already creating a legacy. I appreciate that. Trying just, bro, like, literally just learning from my experiences. That's all. Do you like SPX for trading? I tried SPX. I don't really mess with it. The spreads are just weird. Like, I can make the same, like, my commissions are very low anyway, so it's like it doesn't really do anything commissions wise. That's why a lot of people be trading SPX over SPY. But the spreads is like, commissions are just like made through in the spreads. Like the spread, I don't like the spreads, because when I get in, I'm market ordering. So if I market order and I'm down like 3% as soon as I get in, I don't really like that. And then the contracts don't really move as much. Like SPY contracts, they moved. I took the same trade that one time, like my biggest day this year, when I made like 215%. I traded SPX and SPY at the same time. Only had 2 contracts or 3 contracts of SPX in the whole position of SPY. And it's like, SPX was low-key lagging a little bit. I think it was lagging by like 10%, which is nothing crazy, but it's still like, why would I I mean, it's actually 10%. Why would I not want to trade SPY? Well, I mean, either way. SPY or SPX. Do you market order? Yeah, market order. I went to the gym today, so I feel awake, but I don't feel tired. It's like, I'm tired, but I'm awake. It's so weird. It's already 9:20. That's crazy. But yeah. I gotta get to the chat. Again, we are raising rates for it. April 15th. So, or don't say I didn't warn you. Also, we have the free server, link in bio as well. Free server, link in bio. Has a free flow algo and everything. Merch came in. Yo, that's looking fire. Yeah. There you go, Seb. Thank you for the lives. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I bet I'm about to go to the Discord. Hopefully, I'll see you guys there. If not, I'll see you guys on YouTube today. They have a new theme for Discord? Midnight Blurpool? That's so weird. That's so weird. Let's see. The heck? Thank you for your time. Yes, sir. I bet. I'll see you on the Discord. Peace.